This week on Profile, Booker T, legendary professional wrestler. What's a typical Booker T day?
Well, my day really doesn't start to the evening time when I'm at home. Charmel normally does most of the work around here as far as the business goes, as far as paperwork goes, as far as if we need guys to come in for our PWA show, she needs to fly them in. She needs to get the itineraries together. So a lot of that work, I tend to escape. But my work normally starts in the evening time, going down to the wrestling school, doing my part, and that's getting the wrestlers ready to do the shows that we got coming up, trying to train them, get them ready to perform, trying to mentally train them. It's been really good since leaving WWE. Finally getting a chance to live life again, so I can relax, and kick back and just enjoy life and still do what I love to do.
You've been wrestling for years, for a long time. What is it, 17?
20, almost. December will be 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
What's the day-to-day life of a wrestler? How many days are you on the road? How much travel? I mean, what kind of toll does that take?
I think that's the hardest part for the wrestler. The wrestling is pretty easy for us. I always say if I could wrestle and just had to wrestle only, I could probably do this for 10 more years, but the travel consists of, when you're in a major company, like WWE, 200 in WCW back in the day, it was 250 to 300 days a year. And it's a lot of time on the road. It's a rough gig. It's one of those things where you put your hard hat on, you just go. If you're in a car, you're always idling. You never turn it off, and you're on call like a doctor all the time. In my 20-year wrestling career, I never called in sick or taken a day off. And that's the wrestler. The wrestlers don't take days off. You don't have sick days. You don't have vacation time, anything like that. When you don't see a wrestler, he's hurt, he's injured. That's the wrestling business. That's the raw facts of the wrestling business.
As a child growing up in Houston, how did you first get introduced to the wrestling business and decide that this is something that you were going to go after?
Wrestling was something that my brother wanted to do, kind of like his dream. I don't know, since he was young, he had always been. I remember the first exercise piece of equipment he got was this thing called a bull worker, and it was this thing where you could push it like this, and then it had two strings on it. You could do it like this here, you could do biceps with it. You could do everything with this one little piece of equipment. So he did the Charles Atlas, when a guy kicked the sand in the skinny guy's face, and then he got jacked up. I remember my brother having all that stuff around the house when I was a kid, and it's just something that he always grew up loving. He used to go to wrestling all the time, and he had an opportunity to go to a wrestling school. He knew a guy opening a wrestling school by the name of Ivan Putski, and in 1990, and he asked me if I wanted to try it, and I was like, yeah, Found out it was $3,000 to go to the school. It was an 8-week course, and just working a regular job, didn't have the $3,000, but the guy that I was working for at the time sponsored me to go to the wrestling school, and got in the ring, and I always say it was like deja vu. It was like a place that I'd been my whole life, but had never been. Wrestling really came easy for me. I thought I was my first character was a character called G.I. Bro. America's greatest hero. I was like G.I. Joe. But it was cool, but I remember more than anything going to these high schools and say, for instance, it's a packed out house, in the high school gym, and the whole top row is a banner of kids holding a sign. Each one of them got a letter, G.I. Bro, America's greatest hero. That was the coolest, to go to the high schools, and the stands were empty. What kids would just run and, they would just mob me. you know, and I was like, wow, you know, that's pretty cool. And I was still working my job, you know, I still had a 6-day-a-week job, you know, at that time, you know, and but I was like, man, this is really, really cool, you know, and I think what was really cool about it was I just found something, you know, that I love to do. It took me away from the average norm of the everyday life that I was used to living, being a street kid, coming up, knowing nothing about, you know, that kind of entertainment, those kind of camaraderies that you make with guys that you know, you're around. It just was fun, and it was like a hobby, you know. So I never thought I would make any money wrestling. I just did it because I was just having fun.
And golf is the big passion now?
It's my thing, man. You know, I just come out and I go out, you know, hit pretty much all the time. I'm practicing it all the time. I'm reading about it all the time. You know.
So it's a few years away before we see you out there with Jordan and Barkley and those guys?
No few years away. I could play with Jordan and Barkley right now. Probably can beat Barkley easy. You know, Jordan, I probably can play with him pretty close too. If not, beat him too, I'm sure.
So now you really want the big guys. You want the seniors tour.
Oh, yeah, I want to get out there and play, man. I want to be good at it. I don't want to just be regular at it. You know, I want to be really good at it. I'm competitive. You know, I'm real competitive. I just want to be good at what I do. And I picked up golf, like I said, 5 years ago. It's like a passion. I do it on a regular basis, and it's like I don't never get enough of it. You know, you never can beat the game. You know, you're always competing against yourself. Mm-hmm. You're always trying to become as good as you possibly can at it. That's what I love about it. You know, it's like what I've been doing my whole life. I think just trying to become good at, you know, what I do.
So you spend a lot of time between yourself and, I mean, when you're off the road, you know, and you step back from it, you spend a lot of time on your own, don't you?
Oh yeah. I just went and played golf yesterday, 18 holes. I played by myself. I don't need people around me to make me happy or build me up, and make me feel big or anything. Like I'm tranquil, you know. I got a lot of thoughts going on, you know, just trying to maintain my sanity and just trying to keep getting the work done. And I know in order to keep getting the work done, a lot of preparation go into it, you know. I mean, it just doesn't happen, you know. That's it.
Oh!
I hope you got that. I told you. I always knew that I wasn't going to be that kid on the corner at 40 years old. I knew I wasn't going to be that kid that's still hanging out at the school, at the elementary school at 40. You know, I knew that. I knew that I was going to be. My thing is, I always want to make my mark in life. I always want to do something in life to be remembered from. I want to do something good in life to be remembered from, you know, and not wrestling is, you know, is being great for me, but I don't think wrestling is that thing that I want to be remembered from totally.